Welcome back to this section on designing network solutions in Azure. All right, we're going to be talking about understanding Azure-based name resolution. Now, this will be quick and simple. So when you're looking at setting up DNS services, by default, Azure will give you some basic authoritative DNS capabilities. Zone names and records are automatically managed, and you really don't have to do anything to keep those records maintained. If you want more control, you'll need to use your own DNS servers or Azure DNS private zones. Now, this works nicely in kind of encapsulated environments. Say if you're doing a DevOps project and you don't really need to be deploying full name infrastructure, since perhaps all of the resources in that project are going to be set up in the same virtual network and in the same service zones, then you really can just get away with the Azure provided name resolution without any extra effort. So Azure will provide the internal name resolution for the VM and role instances within the same virtual network or cloud service. So as I said, encapsulated environments have pretty much all the support for DNS you're going to need. So any VMs or instances in a cloud service will share the same DNS suffix, basically applying a host name to your service or app or VM is sufficient as far as naming is concerned, and you don't have to worry about filing any fully qualified domain names for anything, but you can still use fully qualified domain names. Virtual networks deployed via the classic deployment model will give different DNS suffixes to different cloud services, so be aware of that. However, you're not going to really be deploying anything new using that classic model. So this probably won't show up on the test unless it specifically references classic deployment of a virtual network in regards to name resolution. So be aware of that one. The virtual networks deployed using the resource manager model, which of course is the standard, will keep the DNS suffix consistent across all VMs in the virtual network. And again, you don't need to use fully qualified domain names for your internal name resolution, but you certainly can. One final note is that DNS names can be assigned both to a VM and a NIC, so you can have multiple NICs and multiple DNS names attached to them if necessary. Pretty common for web servers and the like. And that will do it for Azure provided name resolution. So to kind of wrap it up, it is managed entirely by Azure. You really only have to give host names to services or VMs. Everything that happens in the same virtual network is managed, and you won't need to really do anything to maintain it. However, once you get into multiple virtual networks, hybrid environments and the like, you can really no longer use Azure provided name resolution, and you'll need to go to your own DNS servers or Azure DNS private zones. And that's it. We'll see you in the next video.